All right, ladies and gentlemen, mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again. You already know what it is, baby. Instant classic in the making. If this is your first time to the Dr. Mike TV experience, make sure you subscribe, make sure you notify, make sure you do all the things to make yourself well versed in the good docs content. All my good stuff shall be listed in the links in the description area below. If you guys are not in the know, couple days, no, yesterday, Friday, right? I dropped a video, right? And it was a video wherein I discussed how baffled, bewildered, and confused I am because foreigners choose to brag and boast about material possessions that they absolutely don't have in order to impress third world women. Now, if you guys haven't caught the video in depth, make sure you check it out. It should be the prior video posted before this particular live stream. And I definitely recommend that one because it's definitely one of my favorite videos that I put out today. All right. But in that particular video, we discussed a little bit about why it is people feel the need to lie about things that they don't have to impress women in these third countries. Now, I kind of felt as though I touched on it in my own way, but I wanted to give the audience a chance to come through Politic with a Good Doc and have an open line discussion about some of the reasons you may think some foreigners do this. Do you Is it okay that foreigners do this in your mind? Do you think it's bullshit that they do this? Like, how are you feeling about this? Because for me, when I was thinking about it and I was really recounting all of the situations where I've seen guys lie about stuff like this, I always ask the question, why? Like, what benefit do you get from lying about that, right? Let's keep it a buck, man. What benefit do you get from lying, man? What benefit do you get from lying about what you don't have, right? I mean, I just never understood it. And like I told y'all in the video, I was broken still getting laid. So I was like, I never understood it. I never understood it. Now, what was really funny, and again, I don't want to make this an age thing because Doc is not ageist. I did happen to find that the guys who did this were a little bit up there in age. It wasn't so much the younger foreigners, more so than it was the older guys, right? And and of course, if it was a younger foreigner bragging about this shit, you know, Filipinos gonna call cap all day long. They're gonna be like, "You're lying, bolero, that's bullshit," right? They're gonna say "sino naling," which means you're lying. If they really find out that if it's usually a younger foreigner talking about this, right? Right? Because they don't believe that younger foreigners have these material possessions, anyways. But if it's an older gentleman, chances are perceived stability, perceived pension checks, or whatever it may be, it's not too far fetched for them to believe that a older foreigner would have shit like this. But younger guys, they're gonna get called out easily. But you're showing them these whack ass pictures of you standing in front of rental cars. Maybe you went to what is it, CarMax or Enterprise and shit. Standing in front of these exotic cars, you take pictures with them and shit. Some shit that you see people doing on like Instagram and fucking TikTok, right? Like just faking the fun, you know, fake it till you make it. But I never understood the validity that it brought to you. I've never really known Filipinos to be impressed by shit like that, right? Because you have to understand. Tell me to what extent is a Filipina probably going to see that if you don't take her to the United States? And in her mind, I just don't believe she's under the assumption that you're going to take her back to the United States. You're just showing her the things that you have. Sometimes it comes off even as, you know, braggadocious to an extent, right? And, you know, to me, it comes off as if you're shitting on the locals. If you have to brag about, you know, these unrealistic material possessions that you don't even have in order to impress third world women, right? But on a deeper level, if you really want to dig deep, it does seem to tap into the insecurities of a lot of guys. Let's keep it a buck and a half, man. It does tend to tap in to the insecurities of men in general, not of you specifically as a man, not you, but the generalizations that you hear a lot of men. Sometimes you have guys who brag about having all of these grandiose things because they lack equipment in certain areas. Now, again, I'm not the one to run around and talk about somebody else's manhood, but let's keep it real, man. If you feel like you have to brag to women about the things that you have, I feel as though you're doing it to make up for areas where you lack. I know my boy, Mr. Diaz, what's up with you, brother? I remember your comment. I'm trying to remember it verbatim, but I do remember you saying something to the realm of it shows a lack of confidence in your ability to just be able to talk to women in general. So rather than you having to say things and try to say sweet nothings and try to actually quote unquote use game or mouthpiece or whatever you want to call it to get a girl, why not show her what she could have if she fucks with somebody like me? Even though it's nothing more than, fiction, y'all. It's not even real. Ain't even fucking real. But for me, it's just it baffles me, man. Cause like I said, I tell guys this all the time. I was broke as hell and still getting laid. I was. I truly was. I was broke, y'all. $150, $160 a month in allowances is not enough for me to be able to take care of no female. Okay. So Doc was not big banking, big bank take little bank. I wasn't big baller shot calling. I wasn't, man. I was just a college kid living my best life. Right. So I had to make up for where I lacked in finances. I had to make up for it in who I was as a person, right? Personality, all of that shit. I just had to make up for it. I had to be something that I felt Filipinos would want to be around. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not asking you to change who the fuck you are as an individual. I'm just saying, though, you have to be somebody that Filipinos would naturally want to be around. It has absolutely nothing to do with your possessions. And to be real, I kind of feel as though there's always going to be this big debate about this, but everybody believes that Filipinas are so gung ho and wrapped up in the finances of a foreigner, and that's usually why she chooses to mate with who she mates with. Now, again, that variable can be taken into so many different contexts that it's very hard to narrow it down and pinpoint it into one particular statement or fact as it pertains to dealing with a foreigner and its money and how it relates or correlates to Filipinas in that regard. But, I've seen broke foreigners still get laid. There's one particular person that we've seen successfully get with women. I ain't gonna say his name. Y'all should know his name. There's one person in particular that I don't know. I haven't had any updates lately. I haven't followed up or checked in on anything like that. But even from the past, there was one guy in particular that we knew for a fact was not necessarily in the best financial situation, but could still manage to get him a girl. So I kind of look at that situation and feel as though it null and voids damn near everything that all these foreigners talk about when it comes to your finances are going to get you girls, because you can see the guy who is not necessarily macking it in the finance department or getting it in the finance department or the financial department, and he's still managing to pull bitches. I'm sorry, pardon my language. Still managing to pull ladies. So you have to definitely put it in context. If he can do it, why the fuck can you not do it? It don't matter if you're black or white. He just so happens to be white, but it don't matter if you're black or white. If he can do it, I'm trying to figure out what in the world are you doing wrong, right? What are you doing wrong? Why do you feel the necessity to be like, yo, man, shit, man? If a girl wants to, excuse me, if a girl want to talk to me, I have to show her what I don't have, right? I have to show her what I ain't got in order to impress her because I lack confidence and I lack in other areas. I just never understood. Bro, even the Koreans, man. No, let me stop. Let me stop. No, fuck it. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. Even the Korean guys are killing it. Usually it's based on looks. And I've never really seen a broke Korean person before. Like not in the Philippines. I'm pretty sure they exist, but that's probably why they're the worst example to give. But like I said, back to the first example I gave, that pretty much set the standard and the stage for everything that we're going to talk about today. Guys, why is it necessary to brag about what you don't have to get with women that come from challenging circumstances and backgrounds? Like, do you see a necessity for it? Because maybe I'm missing it, bro. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe the good doc is maybe it's going over my head. Well, doc, man, if they believe that I got this, man, maybe just maybe this'll happen, or maybe just maybe that'll happen. So I gotta go ahead and put my best foot forward, or my whack ass foot forward, or my less confident foot forward, and tell her this is what she can have if she fucks with somebody like me. But what of it, man? I don't know, man. I'm just confused, bro. Maybe y'all can enlighten the good doc in his young ways, man. Maybe you have to enlighten the young grasshopper on this particular topic of conversation. But y'all already know what it is, man. There's 14 of y'all in the building, man. Appreciate y'all locking in, man. Y'all make sure y'all drop a like, make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress yourself over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. You guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But of course, I'm happy and blessed y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now you're then. Let's get back to business as usual. Mr. Diaz, what's up with you, Pep? Appreciate you locking in. Joseph, what's up with you, man? He said the girl in the thumbnail is with the zombie. Hey, man. Hey, they know how to pick them, y'all. They know how to pick them. Mm. The crazy thing is, a lot of foreigners don't know that Filipinos can spot the weakest link probably quicker than y'all can spot the vulnerable Filipino. Like they will know the weak foreigner when they see one. They will know him when they see him, and they will pounce. They will pounce. So whether you believe that baby girl's with the zombie, he's on that happy to be here type shit. You can tell the look on his face. He's just happy to be there. He happy to have him a little one, a little Madonna Filipina and shit. And I ain't mad at him. I mean, the Madonna ones seem to be the pick of the litter for a lot of you guys. I mean, it's really like that's a preference for y'all. It baffles me. I don't mind dating a white skinned Filipino, but it's almost like everybody I've talked to seems to be anti white skinned Filipinos, right? Like, I don't want them. My girl got to be Morena, got to have that caramel skin complexion. I'm not mad at you, but it just baffles me that it seems that a lot of foreigners are turned off by it, it seems, to an extent. But hey, more for me. Fuck it. Because Doc don't have no preference, y'all. Shout out to my brother Word. What's up with you, Pimpin'? Appreciate you locking in. All is well with the good doc, man. Just getting over my slump. You know how it goes, man. I just have to go ahead and push through it. My man's name is Sausages. I actually fucking do. I love that name, bro. I'm not familiar with Mike Hawk. Don't believe that I'm saying that because you should know who he is. I just don't know. So you're gonna have to explain to me the situation, who he is, before I can tap in and at least talk about something that I'm not familiar with. One of the biggest misconceptions is Doc knows all foreign vlogging YouTubers. I don't. I don't watch a lot of channels. I kind of keep myself constricted to an extent. Maybe a couple of foreigners I do check in on every now and again, but for the most part, I have to be very picky and choosy about who I choose to lock in and watch because I never want my content to come off like anybody else's. And I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but if you find somebody you really like or somebody you really watch and shit, you may find yourself picking up on some of the things that they do because you're watching their content, regurgitating that shit, and there are some YouTubers that I watch that are not in our space that every now and again, some punchline that they use, I may throw it in here every now and again, just because I've watched that shit so much. And when they drop it in the video, it just seems to hit the mark. So I try to keep I try to keep it to a minimum because I never want anybody to be like, oh, you over here trying to be like so and so. So if you can explain to me who Mike is and what's his situation, I'll be glad to listen. Some Filipinos really love white skin, nothing else. If they like white guys, it's cool. I mean, it's a matter of preference, y'all. I mean, let's not get in our feelings about preferences. It happens more often than not. But we just can't really be about dealing with what somebody else's preferences are and shit. So it is what it is. But back to the topic of conversation. Shout out to my brother Robert. What's up? He said they trying to make themselves look bigger. Hey, Robert. You know how you know how when you the side mirrors in cars and shit, right? That little sign at the bottom that says objects may be bigger or appear closer than they actually are. That's what people do. They be putting their. I see the dude. Somebody told me that I shouldn't say I see the dude because I'm gonna be like Doc, you gay as fuck. Anyways, but there was a dude, right? Somebody showed me this video, and like I said, man, I'm comfortable with my sexuality. That's why I don't care. But there was a dude that took a picture of his junk holding it next to one of them side view mirrors and shit because apparently, like I said, it magnifies Image, make it look bigger. And he was gonna send it to a girl, and I couldn't help myself but laugh, bro. It was the funniest thing I've seen in a minute. Shout out to my man Maximus. Mike, what's up with you, brother? I see you done changed your avatar again. Trying to find the one that hits the best. That's what's up. No money, no honey. If you're broke, you ain't getting laid. I don't know, man. There's that one guy that I'm very much aware of that's not in the best of financial situations, but he is still managing to bag them. Doc, don't say names, man, but you know who I'm talking about. The comment that I was referencing says if a man brags about his assets to a woman, it's because he's either talking in the past tense or he lacks self confidence. There's really no way to get around it. That seems to hit the mark, man. That seems to hit the spot dead on as to what I believe. Cause there, you ain't lying though, man. There's a lot of people who live in the past, man. A lot of people live in the past. They be like, "Yo, man, there was this one time I had this, bro. I had all this shit going for me, man. I was doing this, I was doing that, and everybody want to live in the past and shit." But I'm thinking to myself, what's going on in your life right now, bro? What you got going on right now, right? I can't live in the past. My past is what's behind me. You take what you learn from it, keep pushing forward, keep it rocking. But if you want to live in the past and talk about what you had before instead of what you have now, tell me how that benefits you. I mean, granted, it might make you feel good in the moment. You know, it's like that. It's like that person that peaked in high school, right? My high school reunion is set to come. Well, I missed my last one, so probably in a couple of years or so, my high school reunion is coming up. I'm not going to tell you what year the reunion is, but just know my high school reunion is coming up in a couple of years. Mm, and you always have those people who peaked in high school, like the jock, the quarterback, the people who play on the basketball team, the people who peak there, and then right after that, they ain't do shit with their lives, right? So people who continuously live in the past. I'm like, bruh, that was high school, bro. High school was damn near over it. No, it was over a decade ago, bro. Like, what the fuck? You ain't got nothing going on in your life. Yo, you remember that one time where I did that one thing? I don't. I don't because it was fucking high school or it was like fucking 5 years ago. Like, how am I supposed to remember something you did 5 years ago? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm the type of guy, I like to relive my past, right? Every now and again, I like to tell my little tales of once upon a time in Marcus's life, and everybody who knows who Marcus is, shout out to Marcus. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, every now and again, I like to tap into a good Marcus story every now and again. But that's because I found that there's probably either a lesson that can be learned from it, or it's just something to share for fun, right? So it's not anything to be taken like so seriously. Like, yo, man, do you miss that part of your life, or do you do this? Do you do that? Every now and again, it just feels good to get it off my chest and to have that conversation. But at the end of the day, I'm rooted in reality, y'all. I know what my status is and my relationship status is. I know what my occupation is. I know what I do for a living. I know where I'm trying to go. So I can't be stuck here, and I damn sure can't be worried about some other shit that happened to me fucking 20 years ago, right? To dwell on it constantly, to try to prove to somebody something that may or may not be true in the present moment. I can't rock with that. But yeah, to me, people are talking in past tense, and sometimes they do lack self confidence. My man said he's still bagging them. You funny, bro, and I'm not surprised. Why am I not surprised? Shout out to Globe Master. What's up with you, brother? He said he targets women poor. Damn, I'm not gonna go that far. It is what it is, man. My man Roy said he got the mouthpiece for the millennium. He said it's lethal. Said I got more game than Parker Brothers, and I don't need money. Like I said, I kind of feel as though we should always use money as a bonus, right? Money should be the add-on, right? If you're gonna get with a girl, it shouldn't be that she's fucking with you because you got money. The money should just be the icing on the cake, the cream of the crop, the cherry on top of sorts, right? It shouldn't be what you lead with. Because I found that guys that lead with the wallet and guys that lead with money, okay, what do you do after that? That's the question I ask a lot of guys. Like when you start with the wallet, you lead with the wallet. Okay, what's next? Right? What's next? What happens when the money doesn't keep them in place, right? Because this is what a lot of foreigners overlook, man. Everybody likes to believe that your money is going to keep everybody in line. It's going to keep everybody in place. And to an extent, it may work, time, right? But then you have the same conversation that we've had before. What happens if you meet somebody richer? Then your money is null and void because it's no longer about the cash that you have because she found somebody with a bigger wallet, right? So when the money doesn't work, what are you going to do then? Right? Oh, replace them. It seems more or less like she's going to replace you before you replace her. That's what it sounds like because she's going to find the guy with the bigger wallet, right? So you have to have more to bring to the table than the wallet. Now, don't get it twisted, man. Yo, gentlemen, you gotta have your standards. Let's keep it a buck. You gotta have a standard. You gotta keep your standards, and your woman or whoever you're choosing to date with has to meet and or excel in those particular standards that you have. Like, just don't accept a chick or be with a chick because she was the first one that high, right? Me and Mike, we had conversations about this the other day, man. It was great conversation, right? Sometimes we're just foreigners. Like when you first come in, it's just the first girl that even fucking looks at you the right way. You go for them. Y'all fall in love quick as hell. And I mean, the same rules apply here in the United States, y'all. You can fall in love mad quick though. First girl give you any attention, you like, damn, boo, you like me for real? You for real? You like me? So it just depends. But when your money doesn't work, y'all, what else do you have to bring to the table? That's all I ask, right? So when I tell gentlemen we got to work on ourselves, I mean it. Like we really got to work on us, right? We got to work on our standards, and we damn sure got to work on ourselves, right? A lot of your dating gurus or your life coaches and your dating coaches and shit, they'll say, "Yo, go to the gym, stay in the gym, work on excuse me, work on your physique and shit." I will not tell you anything different because I have learned, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I've seen this more so in my past years than anything. When I was at peak physical shape, when I was at peak physical shape, Doc's getting back to it though. I'm getting old and shit, man. Don't hate. But when Doc was at peak physical shape, I could not lose, y'all. I couldn't lose. You talk about a brother that was batting 1,000. I could not miss, y'all. I couldn't miss even if I tried. Because even if I stumbled or fumbled over my words because I was still trying to figure myself out or trying to figure out what lines really work and, fucking it up, I looked so damn good that girls just said, fuck what he's saying, man. I want to see what that shit hit like. And y'all know that. Y'all got to know that. Y'all gotta know. So when people say work on your physique and work on being in your good health, for me, it's not so much for the ladies as it is to try to create a little bit more longevity in your life, right? Eating right, eating proper. This shit right here is bad for me. This is the last one I'm gonna drink for a long time because I gotta try to do better. When you know better, you do better. But when you are at not even peak physical state, but when you actually get in the gym and women start to see that shit, they come to you and you can't miss. I'm telling you, when you look good, it's very rare that you miss. It is very rare, which is why if you suck at talking to women, I would honestly encourage my introverts, my guys like that who really don't have good communication skills or they're working on it, just take your ass to the gym if you can. Like if you can stand to be in the gym, sweat it out, bulk up. And I'm not talking about you gotta look like Hercules and shit or like the Incredible Hulk or anything, but just define yourself a little bit. I promise you, them girls gonna come to you. It's the craziest thing. Women are naturally attracted to guys who look good. Yeah, that's the truth. So like I say, man, that's one thing that every dating coach, dating guru, if they ever say it, it's one thing that's not a lie. Like it's a common sense type of thing. But when they say it, bro, it means something. And I can attest to it because again, when Doc was at peak physical shape, I couldn't miss. I could not miss. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't miss because I looked the part. And to be honest with you, when you lose weight, your dick gets bigger. Did y'all know that? I heard that. I heard that in a science show. And I was like, bro, like I'm good already, but you mean to tell me that if I tone up and cut up, lose a little bit of the gut, you mean to tell me my shit's gonna get bigger? I say, say less, bro. Say less. All right. But anyways, yo, we got 11 in the building, man. Make sure y'all drop your like. He says, then they find out he has some money, so they leave after a month or so. Or find out he has no money, then they leave. Okay. CJ, what's up, man? He says, as long as you don't look dirty, clean clothes and shoes, fresh cut, etc., everything else is pretty much extra in the Philippines. Yeah, it really does. I mean, without saying it, it really does revolve around presentation. Yep. Presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to dress to the nines, dress to impress, suit and tie and all that, but like I said, look clean, not dirty. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. Get you a nice couple t-shirts. I shop at Walmart's top of the line, buddy. Plain white tees, plain black tees, plain red ones, with the exception of this one, which is my favorite shirt that I had one of my kids make for me. So yeah, other than that one, a lot of my shit's just plain. Or I rock my own shit. But it should always be extra. He said the best peanut stories are when men show peanuts all these places in the United States, promising the world this year, rise of the U.S. And with the guy, those guys will then complain saying they found a gold digger and she left them. Yeah, because you thought that you were going to be living in this lavish home, but you're in mom's basement. Let us not forget about good old mom's basement. Shout out to everybody in the basement. There's nothing wrong with the basement, but shout out to everybody in the basement. It is what it is because now you're in a situation where you're complaining about getting a gold digger because she left you. Again, guys, I never understood the reason why a lot of guys choose to lie about what they ain't got. Right? Why? Why lie? He said can't be taking a low income Filipina and take them to the United States to live in low income lifestyle. She will look for the next best thing. A lot of people like to believe, well, she doesn't know any better. I do believe, Mike, that a lot of guys kind of look at Filipinas like they won't know the difference or they won't know any better. But that is where the reality sets in, and Filipinos realize, damn, I'm looking, a couple of streets over, and I'm seeing it shining bright over there. I want to see who lives in that neighborhood instead of this dank, rank, stank apartment or one bedroom fucking shoebox. I want something better. Ain't nothing wrong. I mean, to be honest with you, I can't be mad at a Filipina for wanting to level up if you lied to get her there, right? I'm not going to be mad at a Filipina for trying to level up and get what is hers if you lied to her to get her wherever she is now, or you lied in any way, shape, or form to convince her to be with you in some capacity when you know you didn't have to lie, right? So I can never be mad at somebody for wanting to level up if that is the variable in the situation. Shout out to my man Responder. What's up with you, Pip? Appreciate you locking in. Golden Gambler, what's up with you, brother? Appreciate you coming through. He said what a young P9 sees on television and YouTube are the things they talk about in their daily lives. So an insecure man thinks he has to live up to that image because he wants her to talk about him. That's deep, bro. That's actually really fucking deep. And I can see, yeah, well, I know what you mean. He wants to be that part of the conversation. He wants to be who these Filipinos are talking about when they're talking about, oh, he's got such a nice house. Oh, he's got these nice cars. Oh, he lives in such a nice neighborhood. Oh, he shops here. Oh, I want to shop there too. I want to find a man that can take me to this place and that place and all of that. She's like, what? you know? I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But if you feel like that's the way you want Filipinos to talk about you, I kind of feel as though you are now putting yourself in a position to have to live up to that standard for the rest of your life. You can't drop the ball anytime. Right? There is no such thing as the struggle, my boy. If you have put this standard or set this standard in the minds of your Filipina, I'm telling you right now, yo, you have to live up to that standard forever. That's with any woman, of course. If you're going to sit there and set that standard and precedent for yourself and the lifestyle that you want to live with your particular young lady, you cannot fall below that standard ever. Because the minute you do, who's going to feel away? The young lady that actually believed that you were going to take her to the promised land, that you were going to put her in a better position, put her in a better life. And let's keep it real. It's a struggle in the Philippines, y'all. Let's keep it real. It gets bad there. It gets really bad there. I think there's only one other place on earth that has poverty on par with Philippines, right? Maybe a couple of other places, right? But the United States, although it is nowhere near on the level of poverty when it comes to dealing with poverty in the United States, although they're not on the same level, I will tell you this. living in those real rough neighborhoods could make poverty in the Philippines look like it's not so bad. When you're afraid to walk outside your door because there's gunshots or people dealing drugs or anything that's happening in that area, I can almost bet my bottom dollar that a Filipino would be like, "This ain't what the fuck I signed up for, y'all. This ain't what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to live in a drug-infested neighborhood. I didn't sign up to live in an area where I'm afraid to walk out outside by myself or walk out at night by myself, right? I didn't sign up to live in a place where I'm always harassed and heckled at or whatever's happening in the neighborhood. I'm just trying to paint the picture. So some Filipinos may say, man, look, I'd rather stay in my dusty ass shanty with no roof, flood water and all that shit than deal with potentially walking outside of my house and dying every day. Right. And I know that's a pretty dramatic example. I got it. But again, I want to paint the picture of the potential neighborhoods that are pretty bad in a place like in the United States, right? Although it's not on the level of poverty as it would be in the Philippines, Filipinos didn't sign up for this shit. So you just have to be careful with where you choose to put them. Because I promise you, if they leave, I can't be mad at them for leaving if that's where they chose to go. Or if you lied to get them where they are right now. My man says when you hit my age, the past, I have forgotten most of it. True. Most of the past, bro, it's like, yo, just leave that shit in the past. Zerb, what's up with you, man? My brother Marley, what's up, man? He says money will never control them, only momentarily until the next opportunity presents itself. Exactly. Exactly. Maximus, why you giving me hell, bro? Why you talk about my looks, man? I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Look, if I look like Baby Sinclair, but I'm fucking swollen, jacked, like I don't know, just name somebody who's actually in physical shape. Usually, the ugliest motherfuckers can still get laid though, as long as you look good. Which is why I have pretty much dedicated myself to wanting to be at peak physical shape because I know the bitches love it. I mean, it's for myself, but let's keep it real. The ladies love it too. All right, so if I look like Baby Sinclair, so be it. He says this reminds me of David and Annie. I was from the I know the couple. I'm trying to picture them in my head. Were they on the recent episodes? Because I know a girl that was on the recent episode with Thailand, and don't they have a spinoff show or some shit? Can't remember if that's the same couple. But he said David lied to Annie and her family about his wealth the whole time he was borrowing and spending his friends' money. That's a damn shame, bro. Know what the friend gonna say? The friend gonna say, I need to be hitting your wife's. I need to be getting that ass to myself. My man said, shout out to Chief Charlie and his grandma's basement. I don't give a fuck, man. Chief Charlie. If you're talking about the same guy that the channel that I came across years ago, that motherfucker was getting views, bro. So I wouldn't even give a shit. If I was making some views and making it rain and having these great adventures, perceived great adventures, you know, I mean, shit, I couldn't complain if I was living in grandma's basement. It's free. So all the money I get to make, I get to keep, and I can put it towards my next travel location, the next travel vacation. I can't imagine. Because if I remember correctly, that dude was clearing some pretty decent numbers, man. 100,000, hundreds of thousands of video views every video he put out. The last time I checked, it could be a whole lot more. Chosen one, yeah, I'm live, brother. I'm just late in the chat. He said, I'm so tired of the Philippines. All these brothers talking about the Philippines. We will always be at a disadvantage to speak highly of third world women. To speak highly of third world country women is something is wrong. Let me see if I can translate that in my mind. You're tired of people talking about how great Filipinos are. Okay. Because to talk highly about third world women, you see that as something wrong. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. It's not like it's too far fetched. I mean, I just believe, honestly, like, I mean, there's so many different levels. Okay, let's do this real quick because I can see where you're coming from. I'm not against your talking point because, in fairness, y'all, if you compare the looks of a Filipina to looks of women in other countries, some people may say, I'm gonna go with the women because they look better in this country or whatever. Some people may say that if you base it on looks. I kind of feel like the bigger talking points when it comes to Filipinas, outside of looks to most men, is the fact of their behaviors towards men to an extent, right? A lot of them are still catering. A lot of them are still, wanting to be the good wife to their husbands and stuff like that. So because of that, that pretty much puts them at an advantage, right? In the eyes. But I mean, it's not as if you can't find those same types of qualities in other women. Of course, there's always been a constant comparison between women in Thailand and women in the Philippines based on looks alone. That's always been a debate. Filipinas and women from Latin American countries always been a viable debate. So it's not as if I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with it. There will be something wrong with it if it's all praise and no negative outlook. But considering you've been in the country, you've lived through the pandemic, one of the worst times in probably Philippine history. You saw the good, the bad, and damn near the ugly of it being physically in it. I can see how you can come to that, right? Because a lot of us are having these conversations from the outside looking in. And as a result of that, it still seems that some Filipinos still hold some valuable advantages over a lot of women outside of looks and everything, of course. At least that's what I see. That's how I would say. But yeah, overpraising them, I can see how that could be a very, very, very big issue. He said the slum areas in the Philippines, like Tondo during the epidemic, is pretty bad. That that represents one. Well, I guess every area in the Philippines has a bad one, but to take your young lady from one drug infested city to the next, it's like, well, damn, oh, damn. This is just the U.S. version of the pandemic they had with Shabu in the Philippines. I don't know, man. Hey man, hey, you are welcome to speak however whatever's on your mind, man. That's why we have these conversations. He said, brothers always talking about Punani, I guess. He said they got from a third world country. How many brothers dating women from Korea or Japan? My brother's dating a beautiful Korean young lady. I know my brother. I can't, and there have been a couple of guys who have talked about it, but because I guess this is more of a Philippine based channel, I guess I would have to go to a channel where a lot of guys are in Korea. I know my brother's there, and I don't want to put his business out there in the street, but he does very well. And he has the same talking point you have, man, to the T. I'll tell you the truth. His talking point is damn near verbatim to you. Now, again, he is somebody who has dated Filipinas in the past, no different than me. So, in comparison to, he's definitely seen the best of both worlds. And he'll probably choose Korean over Filipino too. So, I mean, I could see it. And I've had that conversation with him too. It is what it is. Um, Bragging about getting laid or laying some chicks in a third world country, maybe that doesn't sound as what do you call it? It don't sound as a great bragging point in the eyes of many, right? But I do believe that there are quite a few individuals that are able to do well in other countries. Maybe the Philippines is just attractive because of how far your dollar can go. So it's always going to be a place where a lot of guys are going to go. Korea, very expensive. Japan, very expensive. So as a result, people may opt to go to the Philippines and deal with Filipinas because of how financially, how can I say this? How the finances line up for them, right? We got to understand not everybody, not every foreigner traveler in the world is a rich guy. You know, that's true. He said, I saw a commercial of a spinoff of the 90 Day Fiance that included No Neck Ed, and he looked like he was in shape and looking a bit better. If that's possible, hey man, if he can make it, anybody can make it. My mentor, my bad, Joe. I'm trying to just get right. My mentor once told me if a woman is focused on your money, she's not focused on you. True. There are many slum areas in the Philippines. Every good sized city has a slum area or a squatter area. True. What's up, Mr. Lee? What's up with you, man? He says, Dr. Mike, he said, lots of brothers dating girls from Korea and Japan out here in the West Coast. Oh, yeah. I know a few. It's because I assume because my channel is more Philippine based, that's probably why you're going to get a lot of them talking about Filipinas here. But I do not believe that they're not getting women in other countries. That's just what I see. All right, Marley says, I hope when I'm heading Southeast Asia, you'll be also in Southeast Asia so we can link up. He said, brother, he said, but I had to say I'm battling. He said I'm betting on Thailand's side now, looking more and more appealing. So you're thinking Thailand is a lot more appealing than the Philippines? I can see that. I won't deny that. I mean, shit. Let's call it spade to spade, man. Hey, chosen one, you can be as honest as you need to over here. Because although I'll put it to you like this, yo, although I am the type of guy who is probably one of the bigger advocates for travel to the Philippines because I've been there, I've had great experiences there, and I encourage guys to check it out at least once. At the end of the day, I don't want anybody to ever believe that my content is Philippines or bust, right? I don't want anybody to believe that you can only go to the Philippines. I'm only about the Philippines. There's nothing else that I would ever want to go but to the Philippines, right? Because that's not true. Like I told y'all, if the Philippines didn't act right or get right, I would definitely have to choose other places to go. Right? Definitely have to choose other places to go. And trust me, Korea, Japan, definitely high on the list of things to do. My man says Filipinos can't afford to be racist. He said, "Do you see Japan or Koreans sending their people as overseas worker?" He said it's not that hard. um, you say Filipinos can't afford to be racist, but they damn sure have their preferences, man. Whether you believe that they can afford to be racist or not, they have their preferences. And because a lot of foreigners are going there, it seems as though that they are allowed to keep those preferences. A lot of white guys traveling to the Philippines, if their preference is white guys, they'll get there. A lot of Koreans traveling to the Philippines, if they only like Korean, then they can keep their preference. Not so many black guys are traveling to the Philippines, but if you do like black guys, I guess you can afford to keep your preference as well. So although they can afford to be racist, they can afford to prefer whoever it is that they want to date, I guess. But it is what it is, man. 18 in the building, yo, 14 likes, man. I appreciate y'all locking in. If you haven't already dropped your like, make sure you drop a like for the good doc. Y'all know likes are free, man. Likes are free. All right, they don't cost you a thing. If you want to support the good doc and all of his endeavors, man, please feel free to do so. But like I said, I'm happy and blessed y'all come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now you're then. Truth be told, man, we all got preferences. Some like thick Filipinas, some like skinny bitches, some like girls with, top heavy, some like girls that are thicker on the backside. I mean, everybody's entitled to have a preference. Even me, right? You can afford to be picky if you want to, right? I do believe, however, that I would love to see viable channels with black guys in other countries. Now, I've seen a lot of black in Japan videos. I've seen a lot of black. I'm lying. I might have only seen one or two black and Korean videos, but I do believe that we definitely need to open our minds for sure. Black in Thailand, very popular, right? Very, very popular. So you've seen that particular, but it would be nice to see what it's like or the black experience of somebody in another culture. It does seem like it is what it is. Mm. American billionaires are marrying and cheating on their significant others with Asian women, and now men worldwide are interested in Asian women. ah, good shit. All right, so if we saying that black men are not special because Filipinos are trained like that, I guess that's the same for white guys, right? If it's a black thing or a white thing, I guess Filipinos are just trained to go for the guy that's going for them. I assume, right? If that's the talking point, nobody in the Philippines is special. Okay, I can live with that because it can't go both ways. I just don't believe that it can't be that certain groups of people are not preferred or special in any regard when nobody is special or preferred in any regard. I, he said thin, top heavy, fit, long hair, and a degree. He said there's no exceptions. Jeffrey, a man with standards, sir. I salute you. He said, Doc, I was listening to a black vlogger in Calapan. Excuse me. He said he was saying that black vlogger in the Philippines do not really support each other. Do you agree with that? Um, you said black vloggers in the Philippines don't really support each other. Hmm. I don't. I mean, I don't know, man. Everybody who has ever been black that reached out to me and wanted to vlog and or is a vlogger, okay. I mean, I'm all for it. I've never really came across anybody who felt that way. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, oh, they don't support each other's channel. Um, nah. Well, mm, shit. I don't know. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say it. I'm pretty much a guy that stays in my lane. Okay? I'm very picky and choosy about who I choose to associate myself with, but I have to be, right? Because if one of these guys comes out and it comes out that he's into some bad shit, I'm guilty by association. And I don't care if you're black, white, or indifferent. It don't matter. It can't be just be black on black thing or whatever, or that type of racial thing. But I'm keeping it real with y'all, man. You just got to be careful with who you choose to associate yourself with. So until I know you like that, or I feel like we've gotten to the point where I feel comfortable enough to be able to say, yo, this is my boy, and this, that, and the other, that's cool. It's just a little different. But do I believe that they don't support? I mean, I would never say that because I've never had an issue with somebody ever needing support and me not giving it to them. Like shouting out your channel or coming over and doing an interview if you want me to. I've never really turned down interviews like that. So I can't say that from my end there's no support. Um every black foreigner that I've reached out to that blogs in the Philippines has responded positively with in regards to interviews or just having conversations. So I can't really say that. They've always responded well. From my boy HT. Once upon a time, me and Bobby D had very limited communication, but I talked to him before. Of course, me and Jay, Black American Expat, we've had conversations before. Calvin, Sunshine Shoulders, I've talked with him. It's always been brief. So I've had conversations, and every conversation I've had has always been positive. So I can't really say that. I can't really find the time where I felt as though nobody was willing to support or nobody was willing to drop a video. Now, I'm not going to tell somebody, yo, go on your channel and shout my channel out because he doesn't have to. Like, for what? Brother, I don't know you like that. I don't think it's required by law for you to tell somebody, yo, can you come to my channel and shout my channel out, bro? For what? I mean, so in that regard, if you feel like that's not supportive, I mean, I don't know, man. But it is what it is. Everybody's gonna have feelings. Be all right. Hey, man, gotta have preferences, man. He said they don't give plugs or shout outs to other black bloggers' channels. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, but I think that I kind of feel as though if it's ever gonna become something or it's gonna become a thing, I mean, you got to just do collaborative efforts, man. Like, yo, how about I go to your channel and we do a live show or whatever, if that's cool with you, so that your audience become familiar with me and they can, excuse me, choose to sign up or subscribe to my channel if they want to. That's different, right? Because now you're putting in work, right? It's an interview. It's a process that subscribers now have the option. Okay, I like this brother. Let me go see what his channel is about. If I like it enough, I will subscribe. Not so much, yo, man, go check out my brother's channel, blah, 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 and go sign up and subscribe to his channel, blah, blah, blah. It's hard for me to do that if you don't know who this person is. It's just weird. It's hard for me to do that if nobody is aware of who this person is. He may be a random dude, like, yo, 20 subscribers, yo. Go shout out to my boy's channel. But if I know you and you're trying to come up, of course I'm gonna support you, but I gotta know you. It's very, and that goes both ways, man. Y'all think it's a black thing? Nah, man. I've seen white foreigners do the exact same thing, right? So you can't really say that old black foreigners don't support black vloggers and shit, or black vloggers don't support other black vloggers. But again, we're a limited bunch, right? We're a limited bunch. But I can say this though. I can honestly say this. If I look at your channel, and I'll be honest because I feel like everybody deserves honesty. If I look at your channel and I see what you're doing, whether it be what you're doing with Filipinas in your video or whatever it may be, and I realize that's not my vibe and that's not how I rock, then of course I'm not gonna do that. Right? I don't give a fuck if you're black or not. Right? I'm not just gonna support you because you're just another black vlogger in the Philippines, bro. If I can't honestly see myself rocking with the content, however you're choosing to put the content out, I'm like, man, I probably wouldn't do shit that way. So as a result, I'm just rather disregard it than you're damn right. I can't support somebody if I can't rock behind the content. So, you can call that racism towards your own or whatever, but it's the truth. I would think that everybody would have that in mind. If I'm not comfortable with the way you're putting out videos and your content, I can't see myself being a co-signer for your shit. And half the time, you don't even need a cosign. Shit, I'm still a small ass channel anyway. So, I mean, it is what it is. He says this just reminds me of that conversation we had, and I think it's important to keep all of us brothers connected. WhatsApp group where we can convene and connect like-minded other brothers. True, but the problem is, I kick somebody out the group because the vibe ain't right. Then everybody's gonna come shitting on me because I'm like, yo, why'd you kick him out the group, bro? He was just talking, bro. It is what it is, man. So you just got to be careful with who you associate yourself with. That's why you don't see me up here just jumping at everybody who's got content. It's not as if I don't want to rock with them. It's just if I'm not comfortable enough or familiar enough with the content, or I see something on the channel where I'm like, man, I wouldn't necessarily have done it that way, then chances are I'd probably fall back and say, you know what, it's probably in my best interest to just not say anything at all, right? No cosign, no interview, no nothing. But again, nobody coming over here looking for that for me, right? Couple people, but not enough. He said this vlogger is married to a Filipina and they moved to Calapan, Oriental Mindoro. To be honest with you, man, you got to look at YouTube like, yo, it's you and nobody else, all right? You got to look at YouTube like it's you and against everybody else. And it's not so much you against everybody else where it's like, F everybody, I don't want to collaborate with anybody. It's just that if nobody wants to collaborate with you, if nobody wants to work with you, fuck it, do it by yourself, right? Because what are these collaborations really going to do for you? Just put you in front of their audience for a little bit of time and maybe they rock with you, maybe not. So again, you got to look at YouTube like I'm not banking on collaborations to make me or to get me where I am. That's the way I look at it. I can't bank on collaborations that I've had with my big brother O'Shea, even though that did definitely put a lot more eyes on the Good Docs channel, and I'm hella appreciative of that. But you got to understand, O'Shea is in a completely different space, right? He's operating in the manosphere, the black manosphere. That's a completely different space. Feel me? So for me to rock with somebody in a different space, that's different. If you can find a way to connect the content, dope. But for Philippine genre, Philippine content and stuff like that, you got to be careful because I remember one time I was about to work with somebody. Somebody sent me an email. And I'm not a he say, she say type of guy, man. I don't care what people say about other people. Oh, did you hear so and so was a this or so and so was that? I usually avoid it. But when you send me articles and things like that that kind of seem to corroborate shit, and I'll actually reach out to the person and ask them about it before I say anything about it, and you can't really negate it and or come up with a logical reason why this came out about you, then I'm like, yo, I don't think this is gonna work, But again, that's with anybody. It don't matter if you're black, white, or indifferent, bro. But the way I look at YouTube, man, is you got to be in it to be successful for yourself, man. You're not gonna build or become super successful based off of collaboration after collaboration. There's only one YouTuber that I remembered in recent times that got a tremendous bump in his YouTube subscriber count because of his association with a particular vlogger. This was probably about 5 years ago, right? I remember this motherfucker was at like 20,000. This motherfucker was like 80,000, 100,000 in months, right? And there's one, and you'll know who it is if you know who I'm talking about. I'll let you guys guess if you want to, but there was one guy that received a tremendous bump in subscriber count. He wasn't black, of course, because of the cosign he got from one particular YouTuber. HT is currently in Thailand with his young lady. So yeah, he's active on his YouTube stories. He may still do trucking videos, but not so much content when he travels. But he's if you check his YouTube stories, a lot of his time in Thailand is just recording a couple of things over there, help each other grow their channel base. I mean, I know what you mean. He said, I remember when the Philippine government wanted vaccine for more nurses in Canada. Canada said, no, thank you. It's okay. It's that real. People are the biggest export, 100 million people on a tiny island. Of course, man. Everybody knows the Philippines' biggest export is their people. It is what it is. Larnie, how you doing, baby? Good to see you. Maximus, I do not believe that brother has any intent on moving back to the Philippines. From everything that I'm seeing, I think my brother is mighty comfortable out there in Medellin, however you pronounce that place. I think my brother is very comfortable there. So, hey, man, he's living his best life, man. He's really into his radio stuff now. So I believe that trying to conduct a radio show from the Philippines, if ever, would even be conducive environment. You know how fucked up the internet is out there. So I think he's just gonna stay where he's at. He said, hell, I keep watching every brother that's vlogging from the Philippines, even if the shit is boring like my shit. He said, I stay supporting brothers when I can. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all. He said, they need to lie sometimes so they can catch a good fish. So, Larnie, sometimes foreigners do lie in order to try to catch a good one, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're good if the fish that they hook was hooked based on a lie. If a Filipino allows themselves to be lied to, and allowed themselves to be hooked, then yeah. He said, I used to watch Jay Daly when he was in the Philippines. His Philippine videos were on point. Yep. The brother had great content, man. Can't nobody deny that shit. Can't nobody deny that shit. Maximus, I think you know exactly who you talk about. He said, I'm super diplomatic, man. Come on, man. You know me. I said I can talk circles around some bullshit. But I don't disagree with what you say, though. I don't. I don't. Because I can almost believe in my heart of hearts that if anybody got with other girls in other countries like Japan and Korea, I really believe that their whole mindset would shift to liking those girls. I do believe if we're going to keep it real, if we're going to keep it a bucket and a half, if we're going to keep it 100, Filipinos are probably the easiest to access, right? In terms of when it goes back to everything that you said earlier on, I'm channeling my energy to try to remember everything verbatim. But in reference to Filipinos not being able to afford the right to be racist, and then some other shit that you said, Filipinos are the easiest to access, and I think the valuable talking point for a lot of guys in general. When I say easiest to access, they are the ones that are more open to dating outside of their own. Right? You'll see them dating foreigners of any background. Most of the time, Japanese stick to Japanese. Most of the time. Most of the time, Koreans stick to Korean. Most of the time. Now, that does not mean that as a brother, as a white man, whatever you is, that you ain't gonna get yours if you find yourself right place, right time, and whatever it may be. Don't mean that you're not gonna get your rocks off, right? But you know, that's just what I feel though. I just feel that if you do crack that layer, or you find yourself in that country and you do have some success over there, it'll completely change your mindset, right? Filipinas being the easiest to access for the most part. But I do believe that the more work you put in, it's Medellin. My bad. I was close ish. Expats would never visit Southeast Asia if they acted like Koreans or the Japanese. Unless you were stationed there. Unless you were stationed there, maybe. Maybe that would be different because then your access to the country or your experiences in the country may differ than somebody who's randomly coming into the country for the first time and absolutely don't know what the fuck is going on. I do not believe that it will not be as easy as, of course, dealing with Filipinas, but I think it will be fun. I think Japan would be dope. I mean, you're not gonna bed 1,000 bad bitches, of course, probably. But I do believe that Japan and places like Korea would definitely be fun. Just depends on what you're doing and what you're into. Anyways, guys, I see 15 of y'all, man. Appreciate y'all locking in. Doc is not in the best of moods, man. Daylight saving time is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. So when I don't know what time it changes, so I'm gonna lose an hour of sleep, y'all. So I'm cranky as shit. I'm mad as hell. I've been on a protest and a rampage and a rage when I found out that daylight saving time is gonna be pushing it an hour earlier today, or I'm gonna lose an hour of sleep. I was about to fight a motherfucker, but nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. Yep, we losing a whole hour of sleep tonight, and Doc is not happy. Oh, I've been pissed. It changes at 2 a.m. So when it turns 2 a.m. Sunday morning, it'll be 3 a.m. So right now I'm looking at it like it's 10:36 in the PM, y'all. Doc is not the happiest camper right now. But yep, turns 3 a.m. right away. Chosen one, is it a good thing to be a feared man? I gotta ask that question. Is it good to be feared? I mean, I guess. You ask somebody, would you rather be loved or feared? It's always the question. I like to know, would you rather be loved or feared? Either way, it is what it is. He says, yeah, it depends on what we are into. To me, Philippines is laid back, simple life, and it's very basic. I like basic. I do. But for me, it's like I would never turn my back on going back to Japan, you know? I would never turn my back on going back to Korea. Now, my experience in Korea was limited. It was like a 15-day trip, but it was very eye-opening first time I went, but I was younger then. So it's like, let's get it. It's better to be feared than love. Machiavelli question of fear versus love. A lot of people believe it's better to be feared. And I don't disagree. I mean, I do believe that people who fear you are less likely to try to fuck you over. People who love you are more likely to fuck you over because, you treat them wrong in any way, shape, or form. Cut a fool. Well, my brother, if you're no nonsense, then that's the best way to live your life. But Filipinas, like most Filipinos I've been around, they like to smile and have fun and shit. They really are turned off by super, super strict, super serious guys. I mean, but if it works for you, man, you keep doing what you're doing. And a strict military background will keep a lot of people in line. My man said I miss milk, protein, and Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's the little things, man. And I've learned that about myself whenever I was in the Philippines too. It was the little shit that I missed, you know? It was the little things about the United States that I missed, you know? If I knew how to pronounce your name, I would. But we'll just say the one and only. All right, appreciate you locking in, man. What's up with you, brother? Mr. Dare says it was difficult to pick up women in the Philippines. Most men wouldn't go. So why do men lie to them? I don't know, man. I could see you lying to a girl in Japan or Korea though. If we are on the same line and rocking with the same rhetoric, I could see why you would lie to a Korean girl or a Japanese girl. But even then, I don't think that that shit impresses them either. You know, I don't think that impresses them. So I don't know. Me, my biggest fear is the yakuza. Right? I don't want to deal with girls who work with those extra guys. You know what I'm saying? The ones with the super big ass back tattoos and stuff, like property marking. Yeah, I watch too much TV. I know that shit right there be playing fucking with me. I think a lot of guys would have to lie to get Korean and Japanese girls. He said, but being basic reminds me of what really makes me happy. True. I'm not really into, dude, I'm far from materialistic, man. I remember one time, like when I was out looking for an apartment, 3 bedrooms, but imagine I'm just by myself, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, all this shit for, I think it was around like 2,500, 3 grand. And I was thinking to myself, what the fuck do I need with all this space? I don't like people, so I never entertain. I don't want people to know where I live, so I'm never gonna have company over. So why do I need a place in a space like this? I'm super simple. Just give me a place to sleep, to lay my head down, place for me to watch my TV. If I need to go live, give me some good internet. You know, and I'm happy. I'm very basic as hell. I got all the clothes I'll ever need. If I want to level up, I'll do so accordingly while getting rid of other shit and old shit that I don't care about. Right. So with the basic necessities, man, and besides 3 grand, I just thought that was an atrocious price to spend for an apartment for renting. So for me, it's just a matter of keeping it simple. I keep it super fucking simple. You know, he said third world girls don't lie. Keep it real. You don't have to at all. He said that's about 4 years in the Philippines for a reason. When people know you're no nonsense, though, they don't really fuck with you. That's true. They won't try to fuck you over either if they know you're no nonsense. Mm. Was that my boy Kev? What up, Kev? It's been a minute, man. I hope everything's going well with you, my brother. It's good to see you, man. It's been a minute. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through, man, and dropping in for a little bit, man. I think I'm good though, bro. I don't think there's anything else that I need to say. Is there anything else I'm missing? Any other talking point that you guys want to touch on? Anything? Because I'll give it to you, man. I just want to go ahead and get the hell off of here because I think I'm good. I got to go catch my Z's since I'm losing my hour. Doc ain't happy. He said, even rich people, the most happiest time is just having a beer with friends, family, going to sleep with a nice girl. I think that's most guys' paradise. Yeah, a lot of us are not really pressed about having lavish shit. And you want to know why? Honestly, because when you've had it, like let's say, for example, you're one of those people who have been rich for a long time, or you're one of those types of guys that have had money, or you were born with it through family, or whatever it may be. Okay. Let's say you're one of those types of guys, right? If you're that type of guy and you've had it your whole life, it's very rare that things that are expensive are going to make you excited, right? So you can probably have and own any type of car you want, have and own any type of a apartment or property that you could ever imagine. That shit's not going to make you happy if you know you can get it. But right, when you can have your barcada, your good friends to kick it with and drink with and toast up with and, live your best life with, have a nice young lady to keep you company. The simple things. That's really what makes us happy. Even when you make it rich and you realize having all that money really wasn't what you thought it would be, that's when a lot of the guys revert back to doing the small things that make them happy. So I see that. Maximus, he said, tell us how your stocks are doing. You know they're bad as fuck. I told you, portfolio bleeding like a bitch on her period, bro. Yeah, my portfolio is horrible. But on May 25th, I heard about that Amazon stock split, so I'm looking into it. I'll probably put in some shares over there in Amazon, and then on July 15th, I will be looking to, after it's official, of course, more official than a whistle. Once it goes through, I'll be looking to slide in a couple of shares of Google. So I'm actually excited about getting my cash together to acquire those particular stocks, man. I'm really excited about those moves more so than anything in 2022. I'm I'm still managing to put in a couple. I'm still buying the dip, but very little, couple $100 here and there, and a couple of stocks I believe in or that I believe still has potential to really make it happen. But yeah, I'm down in all of my stocks except two. And when I say down, I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm talking about a lot of it. We're talking about double digit percentages overall in reference to losses. So, I'm gonna take it like a champ, man. It is what it is. But we're gonna win either way, man. I'm gonna hold my shit until this wheels fall off, man. I always told myself if I ever find myself so down, I'll just hold that bitch until it delist. If it's ever gonna go like that, I'll hold it till it delist. And once it delists, then I know for a fact it has a certain amount of time to actually record a certain price to get back on the market. That's just a hypothetical, but like I'm saying, no, I just hold it till the wheels fall off, man. And I'm really skeptical about adding more positions to certain companies, but for me, I just hold. I may not buy, but I continue to hold. and only invest in my dividend paying stocks because it doesn't matter what price those are, they're still going to pay me regardless. He said my portfolio lost 20,000 this first quarter so far. My investments as of this moment, like I said, I only started a couple years back. So I got a nice little decent chunk of change. I'm down. I'm just not down that much, right? Because I don't have that much invested right now. I have enough to really look at my portfolio and say, damn, something's got to give, right? And then I keep hearing all these stories about, motherfuckers just getting out. Like, bro, save yourselves, man. The stock market will never be the same again, man. It's always gonna go down. Like, you got people panicking and shit. Then on the other end, you got my guys, yo. When others are fearful, that's when we eat, right? The stock market's gonna pop back up, bro. Invest, and I hear that all the time. When others are fearful, that's when you buy. It's like the most common saying ever. I believe that was Warren Buffett who said that shit. But I'm still skeptical, man. And I see I gotta have some belief, but I'd rather just believe in my dividend paying stocks because regardless, even if they cut the dividend, I'm still gonna get a little piece of change out of it as a result. So that's where I'm really channeling a lot of my energy and my money. All right. So it is what it is. And I'm only in my second year. So like I said, 10 years down the line, we'll see. We shall see. He said I owe 20,000 in taxes this year. You said you ain't the only one. Damn, bro, chosen one. Damn, that shit made my stomach hurt just thinking about it. Hold up, man, my heart skipped a beat. 20 grand. God damn. I hope that was profitable cryptocurrency that you can actually, pay off of. He says, yeah, like that phrase we all have heard. If you win the lottery, go to an island, take the sun with the baddest bitch. It is what it is. He said, I lost 17 on options last week. He said, I'm done with this market. Man, Mr. Diaz, the market is, this is the crazy thing because the market is no longer predictable, right? Here's the thing, and I want to tell y'all straight off the rip Doc knows nothing about options trading. My information, my understanding of option trading is limited as hell. But every time I hear people talking about options, they always talk about the dead cat bounce. They talk about the candles, how thick a candle is, and understanding where your bottom is and seeing if it breaks below the bottom, then you got to pick it up or you got to do your put and certain numbers you look at, and then you can put your call options and all that shit, right? But this market is so fucking unpredictable, yo. You can't even read those. You can't even read it like that anymore. You can't. Everybody was like, yo, if you want to know how to read candlesticks and market and shit, buy my course or whatnot. But I be thinking to myself, bro, the market is so unpredictable and the way things are moving. Even if you think you have a nail or you really think you got it, it go do the exact opposite. And you go be like, man, what in the fuck is going on here? It did not follow the rules that I've been following since I started options trading. That's what I'm hearing a lot of people say. It's not following the same rules. That's why I'm like, bro, why the hell am I gonna get into something and lose more? Right? I'm already losing, right? You got all these people that'll be like, yo, if you want to make money on the way down, bro, you know what I'm saying? When the stock market is losing, get into options trading. And it sounds good in theory, but damn it, I can't afford to keep losing right now. Okay. I just can't. I can't. All right, I can't. It's not worth it to me. So for me to even remotely get into all of that shit, I just rather just leave it be because options trading isn't as predictable as it used to be. People used to be able to kill it in the market. I just don't see it being the exact same rate. My man says, get rich or die trying. He said, it's all or nothing for me. I feel you, man. He said, if anybody has a winning portfolio, I want their email. Shout out to Nancy Pelosi. Woo woo. Hey, shout out to Nancy Pelosi because I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Mm, mm, mm. Yo, somebody give me Nancy Pelosi email, yo. Mm. That's the one person that I would have as my bestie. Boom. I'm telling you. He said even Warren Buffett is waiting to reinvest his cash holdings. That brother said, fuck this. I'm just gonna hold it. He said Buffett has his biggest cash assets on hold for a big dip to happen. Then he will buy into the market. I want to know what he's looking at though. He said that 17 went up to 98K on Tuesday, and on Wednesday it dropped to 5,000. Ugh. He said we dealing with big boy problems. Yeah, I got little boy problems over here. My stock market portfolio was not that in depth. Now my crypto investments, that's a little bit different, right? But hey, I'm here, man. I'm here. He said, bro, I'm in the game. I'm just not options trading. I don't trust that shit. I'm paranoid as hell. People losing. All them candlesticks. The candlesticks didn't work, bro. The candlesticks did not work. I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, yo, that stock gonna go up $2. Watch. Mm-mm. I said that motherfucker went down 5. I said, shit. I said, yep. So much for my options trading dreams. I did that shit with paper money, man. I did that shit with some paper money. Bro, Mr. Diaz, that market is bull snickety, man. That market is not fair. He said market has, as history has it, what governments are doing was the collapse of 99% of empires in history, including the Roman Empire. He said, you're right, Doc. He said the market isn't following any patterns or patterns of predictability. 100%, man. That's why it's when the market is unpredictable like this, it's like, bruh, where should I invest? Right? Because I'm not trying to put a chunk of change into something and then that thing tank tomorrow. Like, my boy, what the fuck? And yes, we can say that a lot of what's happening in the commodities market and all of that stuff right now is a result of what's going on overseas and the US's participation in it. But let's keep it real, man. Who knows if and when this is ever going to fix itself? So, guess who's in trouble? All of us who still remain holding. Who knows how long it's going to take for us to bounce back, right? The unpredictability of the market has really put us in a rock and a hard place. I could sell what I have now at over. I know I'm losing well over 50% on a lot of my shit as far as it being down. I could sell now and put it into something else, and then pray that in the next years I cover my losses, or continue to hold, pray that eventually everything gets itself back together and see it rise to new highs and all that good shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, the latter part of 2021, like the third quarter of 2021, was damn near beautiful for a lot of us. I think a lot of us really, if you guys were in the market during the third quarter of 2021, we saw some serious highs on a lot of stocks, yo. Even the fourth quarter produced a little bit. Towards December, I started to see some shit fall. You know, I started to see some shit tinker off a little bit. But yeah, man. Yeah, I would never sell either, man. Over my dead body, I'm just gonna just keep it going. Like fuck it. I mean, I have nothing to lose if I don't sell. You only lose when you sell. Everybody knows that. So just don't look at your portfolio unless you plan to invest more. He said Warren Buffett says invest in what actually produces. The man is right in my opinion, but today I just don't know what produces. I don't know either. I don't know. I have no fucking clue what to look at right now. Right? Because I got money. Like I got money that I want to invest. And like I said, the only thing I've been waiting for is Google and Amazon. Right? And even then, I'm not gonna literally dump my entire, cash reserve of sorts into it. But damn, I know I'm gonna buy some, but I need something else, man. I need something else that I know for a fact is producing. I'm not getting into oil. It's way too late for that. I feel like it's way too late. BP, Chevron, Exxon, Shell, I can't get into that. I'm too late. You should have gotten to that at the beginning of the war so that you could ride this wave on the way up. But guess what? It is what it is, man. I'd rather miss out on that one than I don't know, man. I do not know what sells, y'all. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but damn it, we're gonna have to figure it out. Figure out what sells, man, and we're gonna keep it pushing. He said, yeah, the second part of 2022 was good, but this first part of 2022 is bad. It's horrible, man. That shit making my stomach hurt too. Like I can't think straight because every time I go into my portfolio, I'm like, yo, what are we gonna do today? Do I want to continue investing into the stock or do I just want to hold it for the moment and not put any more money in it? That's usually the biggest gripe that I have with myself because I don't want to feel like I'm putting my money into quote unquote a bottomless pit. It's kind of feels like. And even though it could always change, of course, that's the unpredictability of what's going on. I don't know, man. Stock. Just thinking. I'm a hold for sure, man. I can't afford to lose as much. If I sell, can't afford, man. He said oil prices go up to 125 and oil company stock prices drop off. What the fuck? There you go. Unpredictability, my friend. Unpredictability. Oil prices go up, but the stock goes down. That don't make no sense, right? Tell me the truth. Why do you think I'm skeptical about every damn stock now? It's like you got to look at everything with a fine tooth comb. Like, yo, you mean to tell me that their quarter earnings for Q4, Q3, whatever, Q2, I guess, whatever, second quarter turned up, everybody beat, everything was good, but the stock still remained flat or it dropped. I said, bro, how does that happen on a beat? I can understand if we missed. Even on small misses, we still can, make it happen. But bruh, you mean to tell me that we still losing and we beat? Man. Mm, mm-mm. He said all number ones in each sector. You can't lose. Robert, that's actually not a great. That's actually not a bad way of thinking at it. Whatever the number one stocks in each particular sector, tech, oil, energy. Yeah, energy, not oil, but energy. Whoever's number one could probably be your saving grace. I see charge point starting. I see charge point starting to go down in price again though. So I'm thinking that I might go ahead and pick up some more shares. If it gets down to 12, I'll probably buy some more charge point because just the other day, y'all remember this, man? The EV stocks were booming. They weren't booming, but they were up. The next day, damn. I said, bro, what the hell happened? We were good one day, and now we're not. I mean, this is just killing me, man. Oil and fertilizer is definitely too late. I don't know, man. He said, well, we always need food, clothing, and energy, basic needs. What type of food companies would you recommend? Let's go, no, dude, let's go ahead and at least put some shit on the table, y'all. I don't care. I want to talk about it before we leave. All right, so if we know that food, clothing, and energy are our basics, where are we at? What type of food companies are you looking into? What kind of clothing? We can throw some stocks out there for clothes if you want to. That would probably be more along the lines of Walmart, maybe. I don't know. As a stock for because even though Walmart sells more than clothes. Anyways, what do we got? Food, clothing, energy. Now, I used to be a staunch advocate for fuck, what was the name of that energy company? I got in and out of it so quick, I forgot all about it. It wasn't Duke Energy. It was a renewable energy company that had a stock split in about 2020. I cannot remember the name of that stock. I was in that one. I don't know. I don't know. But yo, food, clothing, energy stocks, man. Let's have that in the comment section. Anybody who held their stocks back in their crash in '08, even bought a few more, would be up. Yeah, they would definitely be up as fuck. You're right. They really would. A lot of people sold, but right now was the exact same. Robert, quick question. See, I wasn't invested in '08, y'all. I wasn't even thinking about investing, but anybody who was investing in '08, looking at the current times, are we at that same level? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is this 2022 quote unquote market crash of sorts at the same level as it was back in '08? We're not talking about the real estate because we already know it's completely running the opposite direction with real estate. Real estate is booming. But are we at the same level stock wise that we were at that time during that particular time of the crash? Of course, the stock prices are not the same, but I'm just saying. All right. I just want to know because I wasn't in it. That's why I don't know. He said, I actually got about $1,500 in stocks right now until things get a bit more clear or I really think about the next spot. Jeffrey, just think long and hard, brother. That's all I can say. Last year, everyone had a piece of the dollar, and this year, everyone is competing for the dollar. There you go, man. Consumer non cyclical or cyclical. Mm, he said Nordstrom 100%. Hey, them bitches love their Nordstroms, man. I don't think so. Everything is overvalued. Maybe grocery stores, cotton, and any energy. Just throwing out some topics. Hey, like I said, y'all, maybe one day if you want it, we could just have a stock show just because I just like talking about it. And right now, it's always good to bounce ideas off of what you guys are looking into. Again, everything that we say here, nobody's telling you to go and buy it. We're just talking about things that seem to be worthy of putting on your watch list. I still cyclical, non-cyclical. Got you. Um, like I said, I still remain optimistic. Optimistic. Energy Dominion. I was into another one, bro. Name me all the energy stocks. I can't remember the one I was into the last time. Exxon Corpus Christi, largest raw material plastic plant in the world, coming online. It said I was one of the workers that built it. Do you believe Exxon is where it's at, brother? Do you believe Exxon is where it's at? I'll keep it on my watch list for sure. My man says Exxon. Exelon, excuse me. Chosen one, I want everybody who rocks with us to be rich too. I do. Like I said, I don't want you to get into something because you heard us talking about it, then the shit fall apart, and then everybody come back screaming. No, don't do that. I want everybody to be rich. I want us to all, yo, I think the only way we're gonna be rich, man, is if we try to figure out how to tap into Nancy Pelosi's account, bro. Shout out to Nancy. Tell Nancy Pelosi we love her. I am her biggest fan. I need to know what she's invested in because she don't lose, boy. God damn, she don't lose. She don't lose. He said, well, the plan was 22 billion. They didn't spend that to lose. So Exxon has big plans rolling out. I did also hear that they were trying to get into renewable energies as well as electric too. Thinking about it, he said, would you rather start a company in the US or in the Philippines? It seems like a no-brainer, but I think paying Philippine salaries would be much cheaper than in the United States or in the, that's what you mean. Um, Baby, I have no idea when I'm coming back to the Philippines, yo. I don't. I ain't even gonna cat, man. I don't know. The reason that I don't know is because there's a lot of things I have planned for the summer, things that are going to pay me. All right. So I've been really on the fence about a lot of things lately about travel and stuff like that. But it may or may not be this summer, yo. It may or may not be this summer. You think Exxon's still undervalued? I got into it at about 56. If it gets there, I'll probably do it again. Retirement is coming up fast for me, but I will keep my portfolio investing until I really need to pull money out of it. Truth. He said the plant is 100 yards away from a wind farm, oil and wind together. Excuse me? He said Exxon is $100. God, bro, that must have been just recent, bro, because I was in Exxon probably about the second or third quarter of last year. It was like 56. So it must have just really benefited from this recent boom. So that's what's up, man. Like I said, maybe one day we'll just have a little stock show. I don't care if only two people show up. It'll just be fun to have the conversation. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and check out right now. I'm already depressed. I'm losing an hour of sleep. My portfolio was on the fritz. Now I'm looking to get into some new shit. I don't know what's going on. Just know that I love y'all. I truly do. You said I got in at Exxon at 60 and out of it at 78. There you go. I got in it at 50 and I got out at 56. So yeah, that was back when what was going on at that time for Exxon? I can't remember. It was I think they had a their quarterly report was coming out. I got out of it just after they posted their quarterly earnings. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I love y'all. Let me get this out real quick. Kevin, what's up? I'm gonna read these last comments. I'm gonna go ahead and check the deuces. My 2 cents: food companies' possibilities will be Kraft, Nabisco, and Archer Daniels, Midland, and Unilever. Right now, these stocks are experiencing a war discount dip over the past 12 months. Let me go ahead and screenshot that because I'm old, and then I'll just kind of go back into it later on. Hold on, yeah. Oops. My bad. I was doing too damn much. Hold on. Like I said, y'all, ain't nothing wrong with just looking to see what's going on. seeing what you can benefit from. He said the wind farm is in a cotton field. Go figure. Mm. No, if Exxon's at $100, man, we good. Good market talk, guys, man. We can always do more of this. It's just that 55 and out at 67. No, you bought in at 55 and at 67. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. All right, y'all. Doc's tired. I'm gonna go ahead and take this nap because I'm losing an hour of sleep. Portfolio looking like shit. It's not a good day, man. Not a great day, but you gotta remain positive, ladies and gentlemen, because it's all gonna be all right. All right. Jeffrey, I believe you, man, and it just might be worth it to look into it. Because I did think that they were getting into renewable energies, yo. He said, I recently opened a Charles Schwab high yield checking account, but they linked that account with the brokerage account. They're trying to get me to plunge more money into stocks, and it's tempting. I know. Can't lose, man. Hold for 5 or 20 years, and you're good. Not always gonna be the safe. Be the safe bet. Larnie, appreciate you locking in, love. Have a good one. Hey guys, stay up, pray up, ladies and gentlemen. Doc's gotta go. Love y'all, man. Y'all know what time it is. Time for the doc to go and get to getting. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Good Doc is officially out. At least Nako, which means I am going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Makita, mabuhay. Peace.